What up YouTube, welcome back to Fallout Plays. Today I wanted to quickly talk to you about hidden exotic weapon perks that apparently are scattered throughout Destiny. I had read some forum posts here and there where people were swearing that all exotic weapons had hidden unique perks. Being the inquisitive guy that I am, I thought I'd test a few of these rumored perks out and let you know what I found. The first weapon I tested was GJALLARHORN, or GJALLARHORN, however you want to pronounce it, which was rumored to have the hidden perk Grenades and Horseshoes, which makes rockets detonate early based on their proximity to a target. Now, this is one of my favorite weapon perks. If I'm playing in the Crucible, I'll usually only use rocket launchers if they have the Grenades and Horseshoes perk, because it makes killing enemies really easy. Anyway, as you can see, taking a look at the GJALLARHORN skill tree, you'll notice that it doesn't have the Grenades and Horseshoes perk anywhere on the tree. So, naturally, I went into the Crucible to do some testing to find out. In this first clip, I'm using the rocket launcher called The Cure, which, as you can see, doesn't have the Grenades and Horseshoes perk. This is what happens when I fire a rocket past a nearby enemy. No proximity-based detonation. No surprise there. Now let's see what happens when I switch over to GJALLARHORN. Booyah. And just to clarify, I did test this a bunch of times. Every single time I fired GJALLARHORN across a nearby enemy, the rocket detonated early based on proximity, confirming that GJALLARHORN does in fact have the hidden perk, Grenades and Horseshoes. On a side note, it's not really a secret that GJALLARHORN is an amazing weapon, but having this hidden perk makes it even better in PvP. To me, it's gotten to the point where I'll almost always use it in the Crucible based on how absurdly good it is. That doesn't mean that I'm running around the entire game with an exotic rocket launcher though. Usually I'll be running around with the Last Word or some other exotic weapon for the majority of the match, but when the heavy ammo comes, I'll usually check to see if the coast is clear and then switch to GJALLARHORN. Moving on, I read in the same post that Thunderlord has a hidden perk that's very similar to Firefly, where enemies will explode when killed. Except it apparently doesn't work 100% of the time. So I did some testing and was surprised to find out that, yep, it's true. Every now and then, enemies you kill with Thunderlord will explode. The downside though is that it's pretty rare. I don't have an exact number, but it seems to be somewhere in the neighborhood of 10%. Meaning that while it definitely can be helpful, it probably won't come into play very often in PvP. The rumored hidden perk on the exotic hand cannon THORN was that its shots over-penetrated targets even before you unlocked the Mark of the Devourer perk. That's kind of a weird hidden perk to have, considering that once you get the Mark of the Devourer, it says that all your shots will over-penetrate anyway, but whatever. So I took a brand new THORN that I didn't have upgraded yet and went into the Crucible to test. And sure enough, the weapon will definitely shoot through your enemies even if you don't have it upgraded. The SUROS regime was really interesting. The rumored hidden perk was that you can fire the weapon faster overall if you don't hold the trigger down and shoot the gun in full auto, provided you have the focused fire perk unlocked. If you sort of pump the trigger rapidly and shoot it like a semi-automatic weapon, it'll apparently fire faster. So here's the test. Well, it's not a huge difference, but it's still confirmed. The SUROS regime that I was shooting by pumping the trigger finished 3 bullets ahead of the SUROS regime that I was just firing by holding the trigger down. But even with those results, I don't think that this is the hidden perk of the SUROS regime. Or maybe I should say that I hope it isn't, because I actually tested this on another gun to see if this was exclusive to the SUROS regime, or if it's just a little trick that you can use with weapons that have the focused fire perk. This weapon is Abyss Defiant, the auto rifle that you can unlock from doing the Crota raid. Like the SUROS regime, it also has the focused fire perk. And, sure enough, the Abyss Defiant that I was shooting by pumping the trigger finished the clip faster than the one I was firing by holding the trigger down. So it seems that this is actually just a little trick shared by every auto rifle that has the focused fire perk. The last weapon that I tested was Plan C, which was rumored to have the hidden perk Lightweight. For those of you who don't know off the top of your head, Lightweight gives your player a little extra agility. Here's a little side-by-side comparison of jumping with Plan C and jumping without Plan C. Can you see it? The hunter on the left is just a little bit higher, which means that the Plan C definitely does give you a little bit of a boost to your agility. Like I said earlier, I only tested a small number of guns. One of the reasons for that is some of the rumored perks I read about only really mattered to campaign mode, and I really care way more about guns that can have hidden perks pertaining to multiplayer. The bigger reason is that for the most part, the list of hidden perks is very incomplete at the moment. There were plenty of weapons that I didn't even see on the list at all, including Universal Remote, Pocket Infinity, Red Death, Patience in Time, a whole bunch of other ones. If you want to read where I read about all of this stuff in the first place, I'm leaving the link to the thread in the video description. So, what does all of this mean? Good question. At the very least, we know that some exotic weapons in Destiny have hidden perks for sure. Do all exotic weapons have hidden perks? That I don't know, but it's definitely a possibility. I'll do my best in keeping an eye out for hidden exotic perks, especially when it's a hidden perk that will make a gun that much better in the Crucible, like GJALLARHORN and Proximity Detonation. But that being said, make sure to keep an eye out for them yourself. If you're using an exotic weapon and you think that you're starting to notice a hidden perk, test it out and see. Maybe someday we'll have a complete list of every available hidden exotic perk in Destiny. Alright, that's it for now guys. If you like this video, please hit like and don't forget to subscribe because you know I'm always working on more content. Make sure to follow me on Twitter and check out some of my other Destiny videos if you like this one. I hope you learned something, and I'll see you next time.